Hey there, Crustacean Nation, and welcome back to Lobster Tales on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. It's a go-to way for you fans to learn more about your favorite players. As always, I'm your host, Matteen Rad, and my guest on this episode is coming off of his first professional start in which he kept a shutout in a 10-0 win. Welcome to the show, Carter McPhail. Carter, thanks for joining me today, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Listen, Carter, this is your first spot as a pro. Were there nerves at all coming into this weekend? And then does a dominant win like that help settle those nerves for the long term?
Um, I don't know so much if I would say there was nerves as much as, excitement. Um, Having never, I guess, played pro hockey, I've seen a lot of pro hockey. I wasn't overly nervous about, my ability, just kind of excited to see, where our team was at and the level we were going to be playing at.
Were there feelings about where the level might be at based on camp, especially in comparison to what you had been used to at the D1 level?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, we had been skating with the guys, for a week or so or longer. But practices, it's hard to tell, how good guys are. There's a lot more time and space and some drills and things like that. But I felt, pretty early on the vibe in the room and the way, some of the returning guys were talking, it seemed like we were going to have a pretty good team. And then, when we got to Indiana, that was obviously the case.
Now, we're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. Like, how are you liking the look of the guys that are protecting your net right now? And is that somewhere we're noticing maybe a different level than the college days with guys like Shanks, Kolatarsi, Greco?
Yeah, I mean, we have veteran guys back there, which helps a lot. We're building that relationship, goalie to D. That's important. Figuring out, how we want to play certain situations. And I'm asking those guys a lot of questions. They're, asking me a lot of questions, and we're kind of, making that defensive identity. And so far it's been awesome. Through, one game I played and another I watched, from the bench. So far I have a lot of trust in those guys. And when I, believe they're going to do their job, it makes doing my job a whole lot easier.
Is there a guy that sticks out from that group in terms of helping you out in terms of the transition or communication on the ice, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, Carter's been, kind of my go-to defenseman. Obviously he's a leader on our team. And he's kind of come to me, once or twice and been like, hey, like, we need you to talk more, and, trying to give me a little bit more rope, as the goalie and get guys in the right spots. So, just bouncing ideas off him, building that relationship, with the leader of our team and our D core. That's gonna, help as we get into the season.
I had asked you on the bus after game one, were you sweating it out toward the end of the game? And you kind of looked at me with a grin and said, I didn't feel anything. What do you think contributed to those feelings or lack thereof of feelings?
I mean, yeah, I've played in a lot of, I guess, different styles of hockey games, from, playing in the pro summer league out in Minnesota, college hockey, junior hockey, getting even back to, I had a game in U18 where I only got 3 shots. The reality of it, and, I talked to, coach before the game, like, the net's the same size, the puck's the same size, no matter where you're playing. And, every shot has the same weight. So kind of just let your emotions go and try to stop it when they shoot it.
So to be fair, the stats said you had 56 saves?
Yeah. Team gets outshot 53-35 and you win 10-0. It's a good night to be the goalie.
It's not bad. It's not bad. If I recall correctly, you were out with family one of the nights in Indiana. Who came down to watch you play?
Yeah, we went, my mom and dad drove down with my aunt, to see, obviously, my first game. They've been, the biggest support, throughout my wild hockey career. They've been by my side the whole time, so it was really special for them to be there and see that. And yeah, I have the tradition is when I win, I like to keep the puck and give it to my mom. So it was nice to get the first win puck from Lavi in the locker room and be able to give it right to my mom, as soon as we left the rink.
No, that's a beautiful moment, Cart. And what can you tell me about home, Carter? I don't know much about Fenton, Michigan.
Yeah, so I grew up in Fenton. It's 15, 20 minutes south of Flint. Small, I guess I don't know if I would say like too rural, but just neighborhoods. A lot of weekends in the summer out on the lake with buddies. Not the most competitive high school sports in the world, but just a great place to grow up with a lot of great people, great friends, a lot of good families.
I had to do my research on you, and luckily I came across a video I think that was very illuminating. It was talking about the goalie mask you wore at Mercyhurst, and I believe you wore in game one of the season in your last year of college as well at Mercyhurst. On the back, you had a map of Michigan where you used stickers to point out important destinations in your life. You had a heart for Fenton, your hometown, paw prints for Big Rapids, where you played for Fair State. But there was also a slice of pizza sticker there. I'm watching that and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what could this be for? Is there a really good pizza place in that part of Michigan? My shot in the dark guess is that it might be the town of Farmington Hills where you got your start playing Little Caesars 18U hockey. Am I close?
That's exactly right. So I played just regular travel AA hockey growing up in Michigan until my first year of U18. My team, I think we only had maybe 13 or 14 players on it. I had to play player in 2 games because we had guys on vacation and sick. I did score a goal, so that was awesome.
Man, you had to have rubbed that into the rest of the guys, right?
I mean, they were celebrating, I think, harder than I was. They were all excited, but yeah. So after my first year of U18, my team folded. I had grown up basically, just playing with my friends. High level hockey wasn't necessarily something that I thought was overly attainable. And then my junior year of high school season was over. Was getting ready to go to baseball practice, and one of my goalie coaches from youth hockey, Sean Hunwick, played at Michigan, called me. He's like, "Hey, are you going to Little Caesars tryouts today?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Why?" I said, "Well, I got baseball practice." He goes, "Okay, well, you need to go." And I was like, "Okay, like, I don't think I'm going to go. Like, they already have their goalies picked. Who cares?" And my 2 best friends from high school were standing there when I got off the phone, and they're like, "Dude, you're going." Basically told me to skip baseball practice and go, which I did. Baseball coach didn't care for that much, obviously. Ended up making the team. So I went back, played 1 varsity baseball game, and told my coach after the game, "Hey, man, I can't play. I got to go all in on hockey." So I played 1 year of AAA hockey in Detroit. We actually played at Joe Louis Arena, the home of the Detroit Red Wings, in the final season. So that was really special. We had a great year, won the state championship. And then, after that was the first year I even thought about junior hockey. And it was kind of all of a sudden I was really good and got an opportunity to go play junior hockey. And then from there it was just kind of like, all right, well, what's next? After that.
I'm sure that baseball coach is still gritting his teeth somewhere.
I mean, he's a great guy. I tried to come back and play senior year. He was very respectfully told me basically, "Hey, man, I don't think this is a good idea," which I respected. I was a little bummed, but I got to play varsity golf that year with some other buddies, so it was, all's well that ends well.
I'm going to ask you a little bit more later about the other sports you're interested in, but back to that goaltender mask that you have. You also had the Miami of Ohio logo on it, where you had played for a couple years before Mercyhurst. You had referenced in that interview how love and honor, which is the kind of the known credo for Miami at Ohio, was a motto that you really tried to embody. Can you go more into that and why that's something that's stuck with you?
Yeah. I mean, I spent 2 years at Miami. And our message, the whole time from, the coaching staff to the leadership group was, this is Miami hockey isn't about, winning hockey games. It's about, the brotherhood and leaving the program better than you found it. What kind of person are you when you show up to the rink? And just the way the university feels when you're on campus, it feels like we're a family. Everybody, the thousands of students there, everybody, kind of buys into the, I guess that identity of being a student at Miami University. And just the way that, you meet someone at the grocery store in, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they're like, "Oh, did you go to Miami?" "Yeah, I did. And this year," like, "Oh, like love and honor." Just the way that it sticks with the alumni and everyone that goes through there was really special. And it just, that's a saying that, almost kind of like reminds me of home, the love of everybody there. And, the pride in wearing that red block M was really special to me.
I think I could definitely ask, I could definitely see in asking you how much that's stuck with you. Last thing on the mask, but I had to reference it because you make mention to one of my favorite movies on that mask. What does Forgetting Sarah Marshall have to do with hockey, Cart?
I mean, nothing, but at the same time, everything. After my sophomore year at Fair State, I got the opportunity to go live in Minneapolis with my goalie coach, Carl Popper. He was out there working for a hockey program and also coaching with the University of Minnesota. So he brought me in, let me rent out his spare bedroom in the basement. And at the time, my style of play was very, I guess someone would say athletic, is the nice way to put it. The reality is it was very sporadic and inefficient even. Just kind of flying around on the crease, doing whatever I could to keep it out. And through junior hockey and 2 years of college, it was like, yeah, like you can play like this, but if we want to get really good, we got to tighten things up a little bit. And there's a scene in the movie, Paul Rudd's character is teaching him how to surf, and he goes,
"Too slow, do less.
Just pop up. No, you're doing too much. Pop
You're
down.
doing too much. Do less. Pop down.
All right, pop it up.
Stop.
No,
Get
pop
down.
down. You're doing too
Remember,
much.
Don't
Do less.
anything.
Do less. Do less." So me and Carl kind of adopted that. So we'd be on the sheet and doing a drill, and he'd be like, "Carts, man, just do less. Like, you're moving too much. Just stand there and save it. Just do less. Do less." So, it was actually my junior year going into Fair State. I got a new mask, and, I talked to the mask painter, at Vice Design, and we put the surfboard on the back of my junior year mask with the do less. And it's stuck ever since. I had it on my mask at Miami. So we just carried it right over to my mask at Mercyhurst as well.
I feel like we got to find out what your Hawaiian name is. You think it's a POP or whatever he calls it?
Oh yeah. I have no idea. That's not in my repertoire of knowledge. We could figure it out.
We now know your interest in mid 2000s comedy movies. Are there other sports I know you talked about playing baseball in high school a little bit. Are there other sports you're interested in besides hockey?
Yeah. I mean, I've never been the biggest football guy. I'm in my second year playing fantasy football, and it's not going great. I'm in last place again, but maybe make some roster moves here. I played 1 year of basketball in 8th grade. My two buddies convinced me to give it a try, and I ended up, I was the starting center on the B team. We went 21-0. So, but baseball was my other big sport growing up. I was a catcher until high school. Then they told me I couldn't be a catcher anymore because I was left-handed. So I had to learn how to play first base as a freshman. And I realized that I really liked first base. Threw the ball to you all the time. Didn't have to get hit by the ball behind the plate. And you just worry about hitting. I said, I love this.
That's interesting because as a goaltender, you catch left-handed, correct?
That is correct, yes. My baseball glove goes on my right hand and my goalie glove goes on my left hand.
So is that just more of a throwing thing? Throwing right-handed feels awkward?
I think it's more of my older brother started playing goalie before me, and we had the catch left glove and blocker. So when I picked it up, that's how you did it.
Mom and Dad's like, we're not spending extra money on you. We already have this goalie glove.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's crazy because I feel like there's a sport you're not mentioning.
Yeah, and then I mentioned it earlier. I played varsity golf my senior year of high school when I was respectfully declined to play on the baseball team after my, I guess, lack of commitment, some would call it. Golf was always a game that I just played. My mom and my uncle grew up playing golf. My grandfather was, walking 18 holes and 9 holes long into his 90s. And my older brother actually works in golf full time now. He's a assistant pro at a country club in northern Michigan. So golf is kind of taken over when baseball stopped, and it's it's something to do in the summertime when you're not spending all day at the rink.
It's crazy that wasn't even the sport I was referring to. Some of the guys that have made the move here to Athens, Carter, they start paying closer attention to college football. But for you and Brandon Picard,
oh yeah, here we go.
Volleyball. What draws you and picks to volleyball?
Me and my older brother have always kind of liked volleyball. My brother said his biggest dream was to be an Olympic setter on the U.S. volleyball team. I don't know if he has necessarily the size or the skill set to do that, but yeah, me and Pix were roommates this past weekend in Indiana, and Thursday night flipping through channels on TV, found ourselves on the Big Ten network and watched Indiana play Purdue. And into set 3, I had my laptop out and we were looking up, the different positions, how the strategy of it works, why the libero wears a different colored jersey, and we were, kind of deep diving into it. And so then Friday night after the game, I think we watched Northwestern play Michigan, and we were like, man, we got to see if Georgia has a game soon. So we got back, maybe 8 a.m. on Sunday, quick little cat nap. And then we went to the Georgia game, and it was an absolute riot. It was one of the most electrifying sports I've ever seen live.
We've got to see if we can iron out some sort of partnership with Georgia volleyball, man.
It was like me, Pix, and Ma went with us as well. And we were jumping up out of our seats every point. It was electric.
Well, hopefully we can maybe have some of the Georgia volleyball team come out to watch a Rock Lobsters game at some point. Maybe we can return the favor a little bit. But
yeah,
I had a quick second with Coach Rutz after that first game, and I said, look, Coach, this kid's a D1 hockey player, goaltender. You always see the goaltenders get calls up to camps before skaters do. He's a good kid. Who else approached this guy? And Rutzy looked at me and he said, look, you got approached for ECHL camps, but he wants to play, and he wants to play for something. From your own lips, what were the factors that pulled you to Athens?
It's hard to say. I was talking to a couple East Coast League teams and trying to figure out, where I was going to play, teams from the SPHL as well. But I would say the first phone call I had with Rutz, but it's honestly probably the second one, because the first call we had, I was pretty much like, dude, no way anything that you're saying is true about this place. And then, I did my research and saw the rink, saw the way hockey has kind of grown in Athens. When I talked to him the second time, the things he was saying about, the product he wanted to build, the guys he wanted to bring in, and I was all in. To be, a part of growing the sport in the area, competing, playing meaningful games, with great guys. I mean, wasn't a whole lot to turn my nose up about, for coming down here for my first year of pro.
When you lean back, you close your eyes, you imagine how the rest of the season goes for both you and the team. What do you see?
I mean, I see us winning a lot of hockey games. So far, how close everybody is. I've said it to a couple different guys and even my family. Like, this feels like, my college hockey teams, where everyone's bought in to do it for the program. We have one goal in mind, and that's to win a championship. And so far, everyone's been pulling the rope the right way and doing it together. That, I feel like we could take this thing pretty deep.
Well, Carter, the last thing that I've got for you, and then we're going to go into some fan questions, is I've got a little game I want to play, and if fans are interested, they can catch you on YouTube with a buddy, kind of doing case studies on goaltenders. We're going to do a little bit of blind ranking here. You're a few years younger than me, so I think I know what goalies you would have watched growing up. Let's see how you rate their game. Now, I'm sure you know the rules. 5 goaltenders. You rank them from 1st to 5th, and they have to stay there when you rank them. Are you ready?
Is this just goalies all time?
This is like goalies more so like maybe last 20, 25 years.
Okay.
This should all be names you know.
As you get to know me more and guys that I've played with, I'm kind of known around the world as a little bit of a goalie hater. But
are you a self-hater in that respect?
No, but I'm very critical of a lot of goalies, but I'm very upfront. And if you follow along with mine and Logan Eaton's little podcast, we're very upfront that we don't know everything. But
I think you should be pretty stringent then in how you judge these guys then, which I'm excited about. Let's start with one of the U.S.-born GOATs, Jonathan Quick.
I like Jonathan Quick's game. I think it's surprising that he played for as long as he's had. And he's kind of having a little bit of a resurgence here. I'll put Quick as number 4.
All right, respectable. Next is one of the most likable players off the ice and on the ice as well, the Flower, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh, man. I have a lot of Flower in me at practice. I love having fun. The way he approached the game was unbelievable. It's a big reason why he's so loved in the league. I would put him as number 3.
Third goaltender on my list is a man I call the king, Henrik Lundqvist.
Henrik Lundqvist was my favorite goalie for a while. He was my second favorite goalie. And he was unfortunately dethroned by someone that I hope is going to be on this list that I'm saving for number 1. But I'm going to put Hank as number 2.
We'll see, man. Hopefully I don't let you down here. My next guy on my list, he was considered one of the best, but also a case of what could have been. Carey Price.
Number 1. That's my guy right there.
So I think all that's left is 5th then. Now, I hope I didn't screw you up here because I thought I'd try and pick someone close to your heart for number 5, but he'll have to sit in the place you left for him. So Jimmy Howard is 5th. You like that?
I like the list. Jimmy Howard was the guy that I grew up watching when I first got into, watching the Red Wings, obviously being a Detroit guy, Red Wings fan. When I got into a place where I could watch the game as more than just like, oh yeah, the Red Wings are on, I hope they win. He was the guy that I started watching. I was actually extremely lucky. I've skated with him a couple times in Detroit, on the ice with my goalie coach in the area, Rob Liddell. So I got to meet him, skate with him, pick his mind. He is an unbelievable human. But I mean, the other guys on the list are just a little bit better at goalie.
It's nice to hear those, sometimes meeting your heroes works out. Well, Cart, that does it for me, but the fans still want their voices heard. That means it's time for our Question a Crustacean segment. This gives Crustacean Nation the opportunity to ask the questions they want the answers to. If you at home want to submit questions for future Lobster Tales, make sure you look out for posts from me on the Athens Rock Lobsters fan page on Facebook. We start with Karen Backroad, who has been our fan question MVP as of late. She's got some goalie questions, starting with, if you weren't a goalie, what position would you want to play on the Lobsters? And then who would you have replace you in the net? And you're not allowed to choose William Lavalier.
Oh, man. I mean, I don't know if you should, maybe hopefully coach doesn't see this, but I play a lot of drop-in with my dad back home. And there's something I love about being a stay-at-home defenseman. Making a good hard first pass, getting off the ice.
Those are rare these days, man. Those are rare.
I mean, I think we have 6 right-handed defensemen right now. I play left-handed. I have my stick in the car. I'm ready to go. But yeah, I don't think I can play at this level. I'm definitely not fast enough, north-south, but I would be a D, and then man, someone to fill in.
Should we call Jimmy Howard? You might be able to get his number for all we know.
Oh, I can go anybody, or no? I got to pick someone off the team.
It just says, who would you have replace you in the net who isn't William Lavalier? I didn't take that as if it was necessarily a Rock Lobster or not. But it's an interesting question. Who do you think on the team that's not?
I'm gonna go. I mean, it would be easy to just pick a goalie, so I'm gonna go with one of the guys on our team. I mean, I want to say Greco, but he's going to be a little too loosey-goosey back there. I'm going to go with Jordan Rosenbaum. He's got that just no
even keel kind of.
Yeah, no up and down in his game. Doesn't overextend it. Just kind of does his job and moves on, and that's what you want from a goalie in pro hockey, is a guy that has almost no pulse and can just kind of do his job and then move on to the next thing.
Karen continues asking, what is one thing you wish the skaters understood better or at all about goaltending?
The answer that I want to say, I'm not going to say in case other teams see it. I would say, oh man, that black tape doesn't hide the puck. I don't understand this theory that the guys are like, oh yeah, I use black tape. The goalie can't see the puck. The ice is white.
Yeah.
Like the puck's never sitting flat on your stick. Like I can see the puck no matter what color tape you have. Chris Mott changed tape colors today in practice, and I asked him about his. As soon as I saw him taping him stick, I was like, Mott, why are you using black tape today? And he kind of just was like, I'm just kind of switching it up. I'm like, all right, man, whatever you want to do. But that's, curves and tapes. Those are things that goalies can pick up on the players. Like as we get into the season, I will be able to I'll probably tell you everybody's curve, hand, and tape job as we get into, December. So if somebody changes something on the ice, I'm probably the second person to know besides them and Mike, our equipment guy.
I'm excited to see what the verdict is down the line. But the couple of Kimberly and Casey Collins asking what nickname your teammates have given you, but I think if they ever forget, it's written right on the chin of your mask, right?
Yeah, it's been a feeling out process for my nickname. I had 8 different ones when I was playing in Miami, and probably 3 or 4 at Mercyhurst. The problem is all of my nicknames that I was going by are also the names of guys on our team already. Right. So going by Carts is hard with our captain having the same name.
Yeah, but we call him Shanks. I think Carts is fine, right?
I'm hoping that one can stick.
I've never called him Carts.
Yeah. I was going by Phil for a while. Just McPhail, and it got Phil's close enough.
And then I was calling you Mac for a little bit until I realized
we have Joe Mack as well. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean we're trying to land on one. Um, Goalie's been thrown out a couple times. Seems kind of lazy to me.
Goalie number one, goalie number two.
Yeah. So we'll see. I've gone by Carts, Phil, Doc, because Dr. Phil became Doc. The guys on Mercyhurst called me Papa, and they called me Unc just because I was, 5 and 6 years older than some of those guys.
My favorite nickname on the team thus far doesn't even belong to a player. It's our equipment manager, Micah. We call him Big Sexy.
Yep, Big Sexy. He's the man.
Well, fans, if you have a good idea for Carter McPhail's nickname, why don't you leave it down in the comments below. Up next, we have Ty Benton. He wants to know, what is your pregame song if you have one?
Oh man, I'm not too picky with the music. It kind of comes and goes. I think my pregame playlist I think has been the same since like junior hockey, maybe like 2017. So it's kind of outdated. A lot of old school, Drake songs and some Eminem being from Detroit. But I mean, my favorite song, and a lot of the guys back home will know this. It's "Good Directions" by Billy Currington. I've been a big, country bluegrass guy. You play golf with me, you're going to get, a steady stream of Billy Currington out of the speaker.
Who's the DJ these days? I think I want to say guys last year were saying that Pix was really good on a DJ.
Pix is actually a DJ on the side.
Really?
Turntables and everything. So, whenever we hear a funny sound or, a part of a song that we like, make sure to tell DJ Pix that he has to sample that for the next mix.
Bro, I interviewed that guy like 6 months ago. He didn't say anything about that.
Really? Well, maybe I just blew the cover off his
Pix, we've got another interview coming, man.
his operation. Shinks has been running the music in the locker room, with a lot of, I don't know about help as much as guys shouting orders.
Requesting songs.
Skip this song. Play this song. Being the guy in the music in the locker room is stressful because there's a lot of different guys from a lot of different places that like a lot of different music. So far it's been good. And then in the room for a game, I don't know, because the forwards took the speaker in Indiana. So the defenseman and goalie room was just talking amongst ourselves.
Well, Hope McIntyre has our next question. She wants to know your favorite meal and snacks to have.
Oh man, my favorite meal. I'd probably say pot roast. I got into a little bit of a cooking mode the last couple years in college.
All right.
So I'll make up a good pot roast here and there. I don't know when this will be coming out, but I actually have a pork roast in my crock pot right now in the kitchen that I'm gonna have for dinner. And then snacks, I'm all over. Oreos. I got a bag of Nerds gummies right here,
Gummy clusters, dude.
sitting on my desk. Skittles, and then usually for road trips, it's usually a bag of peanut M&Ms in the backpack to hold me over.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
Niven McCrary asking about your mindset in your shootout, wondering if the shutout itself being on the line was running through your brain. Seemed like not really, right?
I mean, I thought about it. You get into, the late stages of a hockey game, the score is, far enough apart where it kind of seems like guys could take their foot off the gas. Luckily for me, I didn't feel like that was the case with our guys. We went in there with the mentality that we're going to play a full 60 minutes, no matter what happened. I don't think at any point I was necessarily nervous, except for when the one rim hit the Zamboni door and bounced in front of the net and I was behind the net. That was the only time I got flustered at all. But yeah, I just kind of, my mindset is to, make one save in a row. And if you do that the whole time, usually, you end up with a shutout.
Andy Ring, curious about how you started playing goalie and what originally drew you to the position.
My older brother, Justin, started playing goalie. He's 4 years older than me. He was giving goalie a go. My first time playing goalie in youth hockey. Excuse me. I actually went down in the butterfly and I couldn't get up. So I just started crying. In mini mites, and our coach had to skate over and lift me back up on my skates. And the next shot came, I went down, I couldn't get back up. I think I was 8 or 9 when I decided to switch to goalie full time. And I just liked the idea of being in control of the game. I liked being able to influence it a lot, take that pressure on myself. And then also, getting to play the whole game and not having to get off the ice, I really liked. From there, it became, this gear is really cool. Put whatever colors I want on it, do my mask however I want. So I got really into the gear. When I was in high school, I was putting duct tape on my pads to change the colors every week. So I loved it for that. And yeah, my older brother started playing and I wanted to be like him. And I started to get pretty good at it. So I stuck with it.
We're very glad you didn't quit after you couldn't get back up from the butterfly. My technical extraordinaire, Steven Turner, who edits these videos, wants to play a game of start, bench, trade. So basically you're going to pick which one goes in start, which one goes in bench, which one goes in trade. The first one is a breakaway save. You also have a shutout against your rival or a goalie goal. A shutout against your rival or a goalie goal. So which are you starting, which are you benching, and which are you trading?
Oh, man. I'm trading breakaway save.
That's kind of a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had to do it 3 or 4 times in Indiana.
Yeah.
Goalie goal is something I have not accomplished yet. I have tried a handful of times. Most of the time somehow they high stick the puck in the neutral zone, which I don't care much for. Shutout against the rival is, I'm going to start that. That's big time. Going into, I guess, a big game and doing your job essentially perfectly. I would take, a handful of those in a season over, scoring a goal. And then I just guess getting like a viral clip off that.
Yeah, we can bench the goalie goal for a later date, I think. But wrapping us up today is Larry Wise. He asks, how difficult is it to stay engaged and ready for action to happen on your end of the ice when your team consistently keeps control of the puck in the offensive zone like they did in Indiana?
It can get difficult when, the reality is when the play's at the other end of the rink, I'm kind of just a spectator like everybody else. But a lot of the times I'm still engaging the game through, communicating with those guys. If the puck comes out into the neutral zone for a regroup or a D-to-D pass or something like that, I'm still engaged in the game, even though I'm just kind of standing there. So it's not overly difficult. And then also, throughout the game with the, whistles and TV timeouts, there's time to, kind of check out and check back in.
There was a lot of those in Indiana, man, with that low roof,
the nets not being drilled in, which I didn't care much for at all. I'll go on record in saying that.
You're going to get fined, man.
If the league wants to fine me for saying I was displeased with the quality of the net peg, I'll pay it. I was displeased. But that was just a spot of adversity that we had to deal with when we went and played there. And I think I maybe knocked the net off one time. you skate with those types of pegs all summer anyways. So you get used to it. But I mean, overall I thought it was a good weekend.
It was a great weekend. More great weekends to come for the team and Carter McPhail. That does it for Cart and me, Crustacean Nation. By the time this comes out, it will almost be game day in the Classic City, and there's still time to get the opening night ticket package that comes with both a ticket to watch your favorite team and a limited edition hat designed just for opening night. Secure your swag and seats today. Carter, thanks for joining me, man. We'll see you out on the ice.
Yeah, thank you so much.